And welcome GGLeagues fans to this wonderful matchup here for another finals on the stream. We have for the matchup of the Ohio B division of finals, we have the Akrons over on the blue side, and on the red side we have the CSU League B team. As we're going into pro draft here and doing some bans, I am Mercenary. Today joining me is Nautical. How are you doing today, bud?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I am doing fantastic. As finals week continues for me.
Yes, I understand that feeling.
Oh yeah. But as we're going into these bands here, we have Akron actually loading out on all three of their bands right now with the Senna, Set, and Syndra, rocking the triple S's here. And over on CSU's side, we have the Annie and Morgana. A lot of magic bands there, most likely for the mid lane, while Morgana is seen as support. She can be played mid, and it looks like we're gonna have an Ezreal band as well.
Yeah, the bands really spread out amongst most of the lanes. We got 280 carry bands, we got a top lane band, and we got a mid lane band, and we got a support band. So yeah, I'm seeing some pretty wide variety in the bands, which is kind of interesting. You normally try to see people ban out someone pretty hard, but looks like we have Katarina and Olaf picked up already here for these two teams.
Definitely interesting. Katarina's a pretty strong mid laner. She's able to get her snowball going. Olaf, on the other hand, is an amazing full team fight target here, especially able to with the ability to just basically run people down without taking any CC damage whatsoever. And Akron might be looking for some CC here, might be trying to avoid it now with Olaf, but it looks like we actually have a Nautilus pick here for the support. A very well played support going in there, and we have a Cassiopeia. Might be a Cassio bot here. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that is definitely a possibility. It could also go top. The only issue that I'm seeing right now out of Akron's side is they have two big issues coming out of the draft right now. CSU picked up the Nautilus, so in a team fight, if the Nautilus just saves as R for Katarina, you pretty much nullify most of her damage and she has to wait for resets. And this Cassiopeia, same thing. If it goes in the bot lane, the Nautilus is the Cassiopeia is just super immobile and is just kind of at risk of being CC chained. So we're gonna really have to see Akron play around these two immobile carries that they've picked.
Definitely. We actually have a Misfortune here as well. Well, just still mobile, but does a ton of damage, especially. We actually have a Nami pick as a support over for Akron as well. Now, interesting about Nami is that we are officially on a new patch. We are on 10.9 right now. And Nami recently got some buffs, namely to her base stats and to her passive, giving her less movement speed to other people. But as we're going to go rest of the bands, that probably won't cause any serious damage from Nami, just with lesser stats, just because she's already squishy enough. So we're going in the band, which we have a Stylus and a Graves band, targeting the jungler and now the mid laner, as CSU has no mid lane picks right now.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how far CSU gets pushed down on their kind of comfort champions. I don't have a personal connection with either of these teams, so I'm not really sure what they play, but yeah, we're seeing a lot of mid lane bans out of both sides, so I'm interested to see what they get pushed down on. And the Kayn that we were talking about earlier that got buffed, there he is.
Oh yes, Kayn got a pretty major buff this patch, namely the fact that it's decaying movement speed from, I forget which ability, I think it's his E? Pretty sure it's E or Q, I don't play Kayn. But namely his decaying movement speed went from 70% to 90%. Absolutely insane pick, and actually can be played in the mid lane, which I hate the thought of. We're going to have the Fizz ban over on the side of Akron right now, but it looks like CSU for their mid lane is going to be picking a Kassadin into the Cat. That should be a pretty interesting one with the silences. And it looks like a Varus pick. I am so confused here. And a Trundle. What the hell is happening?
It has to be the fabled Cassio top lane, and I really like CSU's their mid laner right here. Picks the Kassadin into basically a 2 main carry AP comp, and so and also they're super immobile, so that just gives Kassadin free reign to just kind of farm up and say, all right, I'm just gonna farm until I'm level 11, until I'm level 16, and I'm just gonna run through you with my magic shield. He only really has to worry about the Varus. The Jarvan shouldn't be an issue for him. He can just rift walk out. So I'm really interested to see if this Kassadin can get into the backline in these team fights.
Yeah, but it looks like we're going to have a Hover Wukong, and a Wukong top is going to be the last pick for CSU here. Akron not really rocking a whole lot of frontline, but they have a lot of kill potential and combos here. Jarvan does add a little bit of the front line, but we'll see if that has to be enough against CSU's absolutely massive front line here in the form of Nautilus and Olaf. A little bit of Wukong as well. He's not as tanky, but he's more bruiser, assassin. So he definitely has some health backup.
Yeah, it's really going to be on Akron to put the pressure on CSU early, not let them scale up for free. If Akron can get a few kills early on this Katarina or on this Cassio or even on this Varus, that really spells disaster for CSU here. CSU really wants to play around this top side of the map, which is where they're going to be strong with the Wukong Olaf, if those are the champions we see up on that top side. And they're just really going to want to try to snowball on that Cassiopeia with her being so immobile. And they're going to want to just try to sit back a little bit on the mid and bot side of the map and just kind of scale up with this Cassin. Cassin's super weak early. Misfortune, although she does have a lot of damage, she's kind of locked out of that damage. She has to get pretty close, but pre-6. So yeah, I'm just excited to see if Akron can kind of put on the pressure.
Yeah, definitely be an interesting one there. CSU does have a pretty strong comp nonetheless. A lot of interesting combos from team fights, but Akron might be looking for picks here, especially with that J4 and the Varus ulti Nami as well, definitely landing her bubble. But CSU has some pretty strong counter in the way of CC of the Cassio, Nami, and Varus, and that's in the form of Olaf. If J4 can drop his ulti on Olaf, then there goes that intense pressure coming out from CSU during any team fight, and they could just go through the rest and just destroy the backline. But it's going to be an interesting pick here because Akron's going to need to definitely try to get the ball rolling with some early kills, but CSU might make that difficult. But we're gonna see what happens.
Yeah, the good thing for CSU is that Olaf is he has a pretty healthy clear, and he's honestly not opposed to fighting super early. So if the Olaf can at least show up in lanes that are being ganked and just, he doesn't have to get a kill, but at least he's dissuading the dive from Jarvan and all of these like really strong laning champions, then hopefully that can be the bridge that gets CSU into that mid and late game and not have too many kills given over to Akron.
Yes, definitely. It's a very great time. We're gonna see a lot happen most likely in this early most likely in this early game here. We're gonna see a lot of plays try to happen most likely to get this either this Varus or this cat fed so they can do some serious damage during the fights. But otherwise, it's going to be a very interesting matchup between here. But honestly, if they aren't able to get any snowballs rolling in the early parts of the match, CSU might just be able to stand strong, especially with their front line, and just kind of tear through the rest of their team. Again, you only have that J4 in the way of a front line for this team. All the rest of them are rather squishy members. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see how this early game plays out, and it's gonna really tell a story about this game, whether we are going to see some pretty fast game here, or if CSU is gonna be able to hold out and then start, hopefully executing on this great late game team comp that they have. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
Both of about 25 seconds here. We're going to definitely hope to see an interesting matchup between these two. Can Akron start off with a great start here by trying to get some early kills and start the snowball rolling? Or can CSU hold out until mid or late game and win the match that way? With 10 seconds left, we're going to see who takes this first match of the Ohio B Division Finals in just a couple seconds here. We'll see you down on the Rift.
Hi, I'm Michael. I'm one of the co-founders of GGLeagues, and I hope all of you guys are staying safe and healthy.
Hi guys, I'm Abby. Most of you probably know me as Not Too Shabby in the Discord, and I am your resident league manager for GGLeagues.
And I'm Griffin Kemp. I am a marketing intern here at GGLeagues. I don't work at Cloud9, I'm sorry.
Hey everyone, this is Eric from GGLeagues. With the coronavirus sweeping the globe, I know it's been a stressful time for everybody, even though we joke as gamers that it hasn't really changed our lives at all. But with that, we wanted to take some time to update all of you on how the coronavirus has affected our leagues and our company. We also wanted to share a little bit how we're helping to maintain the esports community and camaraderie during this difficult time.
And first off, really, in the interest of everyone's health and safety in the middle of this pandemic, we have unfortunately had to cancel all of our in-person events for this season. This is really not an easy thing for us to do because we really love seeing everyone come to our in-person and final and really get to meet everyone in person. We wanted to bring some of our sweet props so that way everyone can kind of take pictures with that also. And so we really, really thank all of you guys who have worked with us to host these in-person events. And we really appreciate your excitement and hard work. And we really want to thank you guys as players who are planning on coming out to our in-person event. As a result of this pandemic, though, we will be finishing our spring seasons completely online with playoffs and finals running as planned, but unfortunately, it will just be online. We're holding a vote to see what other types of rewards you guys would want as a community. So please go to your Discord and be sure to vote in that.
Yeah, and I know that, GG Leagues has spread pretty far in terms of what states we encompass, but if you didn't know, we're actually based in Chicago. So for us here, we've all been working from home to protect ourselves and to slow the speed that the virus spreads to others, because we know that it's not just about us, it's not just about you guys, it's about our families, it's about everybody in our community, it's about making sure we're protecting each other, right? And so we're all still dedicated to bringing you the same league experience that you've had the entire time, but it's just going to be online mostly.
For sure. And I mean, even amidst all the disruption caused by the whole coronavirus pandemic, our mission to build community and really connect gamers to each other really remains the same. And so, we've seen people in the esports community, some of them being you guys, you players here in GG Leagues, organize hangouts, tournaments, events, and everything to support the community during these tough times and everything. The great thing about esports is its versatility and its ability to connect people no matter how far apart we are. We at GG Leagues want to continue connecting gamers to each other, but for now, only from the comfort of each gamer's houses.
With so many schools already in a remote learning environment, we here at GG Leagues want to make sure that we can continue to support you guys. Building gaming communities has always been what our biggest passion and mission is here at the company. And so we're thinking of ways that we can continue to help your gaming communities stay connected while everyone's away from campus. That's why for the duration of the whole coronavirus pandemic, we're offering to support intramural leagues for Rocket League and League of Legends to all interested schools for free, as a way to keep the students engaged and connected with one another as everyone's away from school. The intramural leagues themselves will be competitions that allow students within the school to play in a casual, fun way against one another. The leagues will run roughly 6 weeks and will be completely online. How they'll work is GG Leagues will set up a league on our website, make it easy for your school to invite players into the league, and then from there you'll get access to the same GG Leagues experience that you see in our statewide leagues, where we'll create the leagues, we'll update the standings, we'll create the schedule, and we'll provide referees to make sure everything runs smoothly. All the schools have to do is be responsible for getting word out about this opportunity to your community. So either blasting it in your Discord, sharing it with students that are away from school, and just getting people signed up. We'll have 3 different potential start dates for this, either April 7th, April 13th, or April 20th. And so if this is something that you're interested in, definitely let us know.
So as Eric was saying, if you're interested in, hanging out with me, my referees, some fellow students from your school, even if there's some staff who are interested, send us an email at intramurals@ggleagues.com. Put the subject line as something like, my school's interested in doing an intramural league. And please, in the body of the email, include, what state your school is in, what school, and who might be the best point of contact for those intramural leagues.
And so during these hard times, we are really thankful for a whole entire community we have here at GG Leagues. Not only us here at the workplace, but you guys who have been really a part of this whole thing kind of building up. And so it's really a strong reminder for all of us that why community is the driving force behind not just esports, but everything that we do here at GG Leagues. And so if there's any way that we can help your communities out, please let us know, and stay safe and healthy as we endure this pandemic.
Thanks a lot, everyone.
And welcome back, GG Leagues fans, to this first match of the best of 3 finals for the Ohio B Division Series. Over on this side here, as you're staring down, we have CSU on the red side, and over on the blue side, we have the Akron Akorns. I am once again Mercenary, and today, again, joining me is going to be Nautical, as we're getting straight into this match here.
Yeah, I'm interested to see this level 1, what's going to happen if these teams are kind of feeling a little spicy and if they're going to go for something, but it actually looks like we're just spreading out into a straight 5-point start. So maybe no shenanigans coming, but we have actually
Pressure here.
CSU's jungler being spotted.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure there with a ward being dropped down and a tiny bit of damage happening, but that's gonna together there. Looks like Olaf got what he wanted in the end. He placed down the ward, so he's gonna back real quick, grab a sweeper, and come all the way back. He's at 30 seconds, so he'll have plenty of time to get back. As everything kind of goes together here, looks like we're just gonna kind of wait around to see what happens.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Getting to know where this Jarvan is early actually helps out CSU quite a bit. They can kind of play a little bit more passive on the lanes that they know the Jarvan is close to, and other lanes can play a little bit with a little bit more pressure. So that's actually pretty good for CSU there, and they weren't actually able to clear out the ward either. So that's all around a win for CSU.
Yeah, CSU's starting off pretty well and good here, as everyone's gonna get their buffs, go to lane, and everything's going to go well. Looks like J4 had a bit of a healthier leash there and was able to clear it pretty quickly. I'm interested in this top lane, though, mostly here. Casio does have the range onto Wukong, but Wukong has the abilities to just absolutely dive in on her. So I want to see what goes on there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be really about how fine of a line this Casio can walk between being very aggressive in this lane and not putting herself in too much danger. So yeah, it's really going to be interesting.
Yeah, but as we're waiting along here, we have a little bit of a damage trade onto MF down there in the bot lane. Anyway, because that Nami W that can do an extensive amount of damage here. So they got to play it back. Meanwhile, the farm difference in mid is actually looking pretty heavy as Cassidon's taking quite an early lead there. But that might change. We'll see.
Yeah, we actually get to see. I don't know who got this ward exactly in the Akron's topside jungle, but they got that red ward catching Jarvan doing his blue and his Gromp, which allowed the Cassidon to play pretty aggressive to get some lane control early. So whoever got that ward down is the real MVP.
Oh yeah, definitely. It allows Wukong to realize that J4 is looking for a possible gank and to back up. And so looks like Olaf is going to be doing his Krugs up there top, and nothing's going to really start yet. There's also another aggressive one, most likely from Cass, and they're right on top of J4's chickens, which is pretty nice. Definitely
I
has some
really,
vision here.
yeah, absolutely. I really like CSU's.
Ooh, but actually we have a little bit of a
Oh,
dive
wow.
here coming up from Wukong, pressing in the W. But meanwhile, in the jungle, we have Olaf being attacked by J4. J4 diving in. There's going to be the flash, but it looks like Cat's going to dive in through the back and get that first blood. Well communicated there by Cat and J4. She was able to come up past the Cassidon here. Was able to get an early kill, which will definitely allow that lane to be a whole hell of a lot easier for the Katarina here.
Yeah, you get the double buffs, especially on that Katarina, and that's actually insane. A little bit of miscommunication there by CSU. I really think that the Cassidon could have called that Katarina was coming topside, and maybe Olaf could have flashed up towards his topside, but instead he flashes down, gives Katarina the kill. The only saving grace there is that the Katarina does use Ignite, or the Flash, I'm sorry. So maybe Cassidon can, play a little bit more aggressive. Maybe they can push her off this lane with Olaf pressure, but yeah, that's actually huge for Akron.
Yeah, a little bit of an Olaf pressure down there in mid as he's coming up after getting the rift. Cat is a little bit forward, maybe on the bot lane here. We have a trade going on. Oh, but looks like Cat's gonna get caught off by Olaf and is gonna have to E away. Just barely getting caught out. The Cassidon is gonna land the kill for a quick trade and getting the double buff. Definitely good for him, and well played by the Cassidon there.
It was the long con to get Cassidon the double buffs. The Galaxy Brain plays coming out from CSU here, but in all honesty, good heads up play by CSU to say, hey, the cat doesn't have flash. Wait for it to use E, and then we can punish her in the mid lane.
Yeah, meanwhile in this bot lane, there's still some heavy trades going with Q's And Nami W's flying left and right. It's definitely pretty scary here, but it looks like the bot lane's going to be holding up pretty well. Meanwhile, in that top lane, though, both of the spells have been wasted by the Cassiopeia here, with only TP being wasted by Wukong. As for his heavy engages, here he goes again, with Olaf actually coming in aside. The smite getting Olaf getting Olaf his first kill, and getting a quick assist to the Wukong along with lane pressure. This Olaf is doing pretty well for himself, definitely coming around the map and helping out different laners.
Yeah, and that now we're at that kind of point. We see it a lot with Cassio mid, and same thing kind of applies with Cassio top to an extent. If you don't have that flash with Cassio, especially pre-6, you have no business being past halfway on your lane. That's just an easy gank, and just for good measure, they went ahead and flash on just to make sure and guarantee that kill. But yeah, I'm interested to see how much more they punish this Cassio with her flash down. So yeah, but you know, it's just we got a lot of things going on right now, so it's gonna be pretty interesting to see if this Cassio can kind of farm back, get back in the lane. She still has the CS lead though, so that's at least something.
Definitely, but it looks like we get some vision here from the bot lane over on the red side here. Definitely trying to get some vision on top of that first Cloud Drake, which means no Cloud Soul. I know it's a real shame, but Cloud Soul is not as nearly as important as the other ones on this map here. But meanwhile, taking a quick look across the rifts, Cassio does have that farm lead as you were talking about before. Jungle lead's actually staying pretty even. Meanwhile, in the mid lane here, Cassinon's holding a pretty strong lead over this cat, which is pretty insane. Bot lane's actually staying relatively even despite the pressure, and we actually have a bit of engage here. Ooh, a good play by Wukong, tricking her with the double.
Yeah, and you know, while it is, I guess, good to an extent that it isn't the console, it probably really sucks on the side of CSU. They have so many champions that would benefit from that movement speed on ultimate. You have the Wukong, who ults and just gets more spins off. You'd have the Olaf, who's just trying to run down carries. You have the Cassidon ulting every few seconds, so even though Cloud Soul is kind of made fun of, on this comp it would have actually been disgusting. So this is probably a win on the side of Akron that it's not Cloud Soul.
Definitely, but it looks like we're having a bit of engage here. We had Cassiopeia and J4 try to come up, attacking that Cassidy, but some good pings coming out there from Wukong, and the vision from the bot lane earlier definitely rounded up. And now it looks like J4 might be looking for this bot lane. He wants to get on top of this dragon. He has the pressure to do it, especially from all lanes. Olaf was waiting on the side possibly for an engage. It looks like Nami showing up, and it looks like the fight for that Drake is going to start to begin if there even is a fight. But meanwhile, on the top lane here, the ulti's getting popped off by Wukong. Some solid damage on Cassiopeia. Cassio popping her ulti, but not really having the attack speed to handle it. Second ulti's popped, the knockup happens, and it looks like the trade goes to Wukong, but nearly in the bot lane here. It looks like the right side is going to be picking up that Drake as it comes back in. An extra 2 kills to go their way for an extra trade of 1. Ooh, the flash is not going to be enough as MF is able to Q off there to kill the Varus. That is going to be a 2 for 4 and a Drake over to the side of the Akron.
Yeah, Akron actually went for that Drake, and I thought they had complete prio over it, but CSU just decided that they did want to actually fight for that. And they ended up getting more of the kills. They got the kill in the top side while this is all happening, and they got the Drake.
And it looks like Cat was actually looking for an engage there on top of the MF. Wasn't able to find it. Took 3 tower shots and then had to flash from Cassidy, who was just around the corner. A real shame there. But meanwhile, in the top lane, Wukong's getting himself some more gold in the form of plates, which is definitely good for him there. But it looks like we have a bit of an interesting conundrum. Namely, the fact is that Cat actually has 3-1 right now in kills, and will have some solid damage coming out from that. Is not able to build the Gunblade just yet though, but we'll definitely be seeing that come up shortly.
Yeah, I really want to see CSU here start to transition. They don't have to necessarily transition their bot lane up to this top side, but I want to start seeing them transition some vision up into Akron's top side jungle, because if you look at it, the top lane is already at 2 tower plates left. So if they can transition up there, you know, get Olaf some vision to safely take that Rift Herald by himself, they can just take this top tower.
Yeah, some solid damage laying on top of Cassiopeia with the trickery happening from Wukong. He might not even need Olaf's help, but he's gonna come in anyway. The quick ult trade happening there in the mid lane from J4 trying to land on top of Cassidy. Cassidy does have his ulti up, so it doesn't really mean much instead of a wasted ulti. Good trade up in the top lane. Looks like everything's starting to look red here on the map. some more damage on that top tower here. It's gonna let Wukong get even more gold, but it looks like Olaf is gonna be solo taking that Rift Herald here.
Yeah, and I think the real signal for CSU to actually go for that Rift Herald was the J4 wasting ult in the bot lane. You know, Olaf's ult does make him immune to CC, but that doesn't say anything about terrain. So that J4 ult is really the only thing that can keep, you know, Olaf out of these fights. And so wasting it there means that Olaf can just freely go for this Herald. And I want to see them drop it immediately topside and dive this Cassiopeia, which looks like what might be happening.
Yeah, definitely some solid damage there between the two. Wukong, even while he was low, did some solid damage nonetheless. But here comes Olaf, scaring that Cassio away. That tower's low enough for just a single charge by Shelly. And if not even that, most likely a second tower charge. We actually have J4 coming up here as Olaf is looking to dive in. Pops the ulti here, and they're just going to shut down that Cassiopeia. Nearly Wukong, though, is going to be tricking the J4 with his double. They aren't going to drop it. They aren't going to get an extra kill for the troubles, and they're going to walk out both alive, but just barely.
Yeah, I'm actually really confused as to why the cat didn't move early. You know, you have two very low health targets, and she's still sitting in mid lane. They're letting them reset for free. That's actually insane. And kind of a poor opportunity missed by this Katarina here.
Definitely, but looks like Kassanen's going to do some bit of damage here. A few combos left and right and doing a good chunk of damage nonetheless. Kassanen also was coming up to help support his two low-laned teammates, but it's going to definitely work on the end. Some pings happening down there in the mid as Cassio is getting free reign of the top lane. Might not be the smartest decision going on here, but it looks like Kassanen might be looking to respond. Some targets coming out left and right onto that tower. The bot lane's actually coming up from, well, the bot lane all the way to mid. We have a full rotation here across the map. And it looks like Wukong's doing some solid damage to Varus nonetheless. Almost has him dead. The flash is going to confirm it, though. The ulti from Nami comes too late, and now she might be in trouble, too. Solid dashes left and right. The Ignite gets burst, and J4's here for extra support, but so is Olaf. The Q, oh, just barely misses there, and Olaf is going to try for it again. Missed once again. It's going to back up. Meanwhile, in the top lane here, we have a fight between Kassanen and Cassiopeia. Damage is exchanged between the two, but nothing's really going to happen besides the push is going to stop. Rift Herald's getting summoned bot, and that might be first tower here.
Yeah, that is definitely what you don't want to see if you're on the side of Akron. Normally, whenever you swap your bot side up.
Ooh. But actually, we have an engage here coming out from J4, looking on top of the Wukong. Wukong will get shut down by J4, and Cat will actually get the Olaf with no really support coming out there. But meanwhile, in the mid lane, solid damage there. In top lane, Cassiopeia's on the run. Oh, the missed ulti there, it might spell the death, and it will for a quick trade in the top lane, and a shutdown gold for that Cassiopeia. An unfortunate misclick there will stop his auto attack from taking her down. But looks like everything's playing calmly in the map, and it looks like a good trade here for the Akrons here.
Yeah, we saw a pretty big amount of hubris there on the side of CSU. They swapped their Wukong and their Olaf bot side to actually try to get tower bot side.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Ooh, a quick trade there in the bot lane, but it's gonna spell the death for Wukong. The quick mastery flash coming out from the cat, who's might just be a flex, might just be like you got me, oh no. But
yeah.
The quick trade of it looks like this gonna be Rift actually over to the side of the Akrons from the Varus coming on their side. Meanwhile, Olaf and Misfortune are going to take out the Nami here rather quickly. And so that's going to be 2 for 1 actually for this fight for this Ocean Drake. Meanwhile, in the top lane here, we have the mid lane and the top lane are duking it out. I would say both mid laners, but it's not as the Drake gets started. Looks like we still have the Varus nearby, J4's nearby as well, who does have Smite. Both junglers have Smite that could go for it, but looks like J4 is going to give it up, and Varus trying to take it is not going to get it. That's 2 Drakes over to CSU, and that's going to be an Infernal Drake for the map.
Yeah, and kind of just going back to what I said,
a quick trade of kills there.
Oh, man,
Never mind.
Yeah, they said they don't want any color casting today, all shot casting. There's just been so much action on this map, but kind of back to what I was saying. Never mind, we got a fight in the top lane.
Yeah, a little bit of fight in the top lane there. Ulti coming out from Cassiopeia will not spell the death of the Kassanen though, who landed some solid damage. With that ulti down, that's a lot of protection there blocked off for Cassiopeia, but it looks like J4 and Katarina are looking towards that top lane, but looks like they're both going to be moving back towards their respective lanes. The flash comes out from the Cassian, confirming the kill there, and that's going to be another tower down here, and that actually will be the first tower for the map at 15 minutes.
Yeah, we really could have seen this probably 7 or 8 minutes earlier, but CSU decided that they wanted to get pressure in multiple lanes, which I understand. But maybe funneling that gold into this already super powerful Wukong, or funneling that gold into, you know, the Misfortune or the Kassadin, like so much earlier in the game. But either way, they still got the first tower. They're probably gonna look to take bot tower pretty soon here. I'm not quite sure how low that mid tower is, but they effectively spread out their pressure. So good on them, but they could have done it so much earlier.
Definitely, definitely. And actually, as we were having up there, there's a bit of a trade between J4 and the Cassian. But once again, as soon as Cassian gets ulti, it doesn't really matter how quickly you ulti as J4. It's just gonna he's gotta press ult, get out of there for free, and he's gonna be definitely fine. We have some collection here in the mid lane, bot lane chilling mid, cleaning up the waves there, and trades left and right. So we're gonna take a quick look at the map here. We have that farm difference going the way of Cassiopeia on the top lane. Meanwhile, it's actually going to the way of Katarina in the mid lane as well, but it's quickly becoming even. But actually, as I'm talking and blabbing along, we have Wukong attacking Cassiopeia. The ulti goes off looking for the stun, but here comes Olaf looking for possible support. Realizes Wukong does not need it, and that's going to be another kill going to its Wukong, who's rocking a straight 5-2 here.
Yeah, this Cassiopeia is not having the best time. She's really not being allowed to play the game. She's been killed by their top laner. She's been killed by the mid laner. You know, might as well just go feed a couple of kills to their bot and support too, and just give the entire team kills. And you know, it's really hard because she's playing a champion that she can't really do a lot on. She drops miasma, but that only stops one dash. And you know, you have the Cassian who can dash multiple times. You have the Wukong who all he has to do is just slightly move out a little bit, and then he's dashing on you. You got the ult. There's just not very many redeeming qualities that this champion has when it's behind, and so we really need. I either want to see them.
Ooh, but it looks like Wukong and Olaf are looking for the J4 action. A quick trade there, and Cat's gonna keep them alive. The double's gonna get caught out, but it doesn't really matter. The Olaf is gonna go unstoppable. The J4 ulti being used well on top of the Olaf. He's barely gonna make it out. Ulti coming up from Nautilus, knocking up 2. Nami's getting caught out and ulti down here. And it looks like Wukong's going on top of the cat. He's gonna get a kill too. A 2 for nothing, and everyone's gonna stay alive. They also got that Rift Herald that's gonna be dropping. Pretty sharp med. But Wukong's not done yet. He's still bloodthirsty here, diving on top of that J4, and it's gonna stay in the base here as the mid tower goes down. All outer towers are down here, and it looks like Varus gonna get caught as well. Almost a full split here. Wukong looking for this Cassiopeia, doing some solid damage here. It's gonna get ulti, and it's gonna get shut down, unfortunately. Sad wave, it's gonna spell it out. But that's 2 towers, 4 kills for this team, and they're looking absolutely insane with a pretty high gold lead. Yeah,
they're absolutely just running them down. The one saving grace for the Cassio there was, even though she didn't even walk towards that team fight, the over-aggression by the Wukong there did give her a pretty decent chunk of gold back, actually. So maybe she can start to get some kind of items going. But oh man, it's just so difficult for her to be useful in this game right now. And so I'm just hoping that for her sake she can pull off some big ultis and some team fights. Or I don't really see what Akron can do to get back in this game.
Definitely. Well, she's had the Archangel staff here for a bit. She just actually bought an Oblivion Orb, which you might be looking for Morello's, especially with a possibility of a Root Crystal, though it's not really necessary. While the Magic Pen is definitely good, the only real magic resist we see here will be coming out from the boots from the Wukong, and the Negatron Cloak coming out here for the Nautilus.
Yeah,
as this is coming up, looks like we're gonna have a bit of a fight here, a little bit of a skirmish.
Yeah, I actually would have liked to have seen her go Rallies here. You know, you don't get the damage, but at this point, you're a 2-7 Cassiopeia. You're not really going to be outputting insane amounts of damage this early. So I'd like to see the Rallies just for the team fight presence and slowing people down. But it looks like they've got a good stranglehold in this dragon right now. We'll have to see what CSU tries to do.
Unfortunately, the ulti missed from MF there, and Q damage for the Olaf is going to spell that dragon going over to Akron here, their first one of the match. But meanwhile, they're all trapped in the pit with all the other members looking around them. They might get away free here, but it looks like J4 might be looking for some blood. He's going to miss the full damage, he's going to get rooted on top there. The ulti coming out from Nami's not going to spell much there, but Olaf is actually going to get shut down the back line. Meanwhile, Cat's not going to be getting the kill, just barely there, but meanwhile, a quick trade there in the river is going to spell a 2 for 2. But as we were talking and looking at this Drake, meanwhile in the top lane, Wukong is completely pressureless. And no one's really backing to stop him. That's going to be an inhib here as a quick kill comes out for MF. Honestly, he's doing what he does well, and that is get kills, and he's now splitting for the top here.
Yeah, I originally thought when I was looking at that play that it was pretty bad by CSU there to stay around as long as they did. You know, they should have just toyed with Akron a little bit, so that way the Wukong could get that top lane inhibitor. But actually, you know, good on Akron by saying, hey, we're down, we're getting our inhib pushed. Let's take the initiative while we know it's a 4v5 and try to get some kills back. And luckily I think they get like 1 or 2 kills. So, you know, trading even to, you know, slightly behind is actually very good when you're behind. You know, being able to trade even, you know, that's something. You're going even with a team that is, as of right now, almost 8k gold ahead of you. So good on them for having kind of the resiliency to go for that fight.
Definitely, they worked it out there in the end. Just a quick 3 for 2 trade that last fight with the Drake going to Akron, but they did lose an inhib for it, specifically the top inhib. Not a lot of pressure going for that Baron, especially for the side of CSU. But otherwise, the mid lane is still fully functional, though with a lot of towers down. It looks like this might be a free Baron. They have full coverage of it, no wards being seen, and they might be looking to force a fight here. Cassid's going top to try to push the lave, and it looks like they're taking the bait. They're showing up. J4 is handling with the Wukong here, and Wukong is going to be TPing in for the fight as Cassid drops on with the MF getting the kill, showing her godlike skills. Wukong stopping in the backline, going straight for that Nami, and he's gonna get the kill quickly. Meanwhile, Katarina here is looking pretty scary, trying to pop the Zanya's here, trying to stay alive, but it looks like she might go down here to the Olaf charging in here. Meanwhile, the ulti from J4 is gonna spell some solid damage out actually on that Wukong, who doesn't really mean too much by it.
Yeah, wow, and that just might be game right there. They said, we'll just bait you in with the Baron. If you show up on our wards, then we're just going after you, and we'll take this game 1. So yeah, just the killer instinct here by CSU to just say, we don't need the Baron. We're so far ahead. Why give him a chance?
Yeah, a nice 4-man ulti there. Actually, by Cassiopeia might spell the survival of their base. Wukong and Nautilus are looking pretty low, and they are some of the beefiest members of the team. It looks like they're going to back up and might be going for this Baron. It might just have to be one last charge here, actually, as the rest of the team comes up. Well played by Cassiopeia on that ulti. Definitely, and actually well played by J4, ulting all the members of their team into that pit. And just, they stalled for enough time for their team to come back up, and that's what they're going to get. And so now they're going to just, they're going to play it safe. No Baron for any team, but some solid damage coming out there from the side of CSU.
Yeah, and the bad thing about that for CSU is they didn't actually take an inhibitor tower, or I mean, sorry, Nexus tower. So, oh wow, we might have.
Oh, a shutdown actually from Cap there, landing some solid damage, but might spell death right here. Wukong picks up an extra kill under his belt, but meanwhile the fight continues otherwhere. We have the Kassadin diving in onto the backline there, taking out the Varus, with Olaf taking out the Nami. It's just going to be the J4 left. They might have just blown this lead that they picked up slightly. And the flash is going to come out. He's going to be running away. The Q's not going to land. J4 might be staying alive here with the Cassiopeia, but Kassadin's not giving up. He's diving in here, silencing, doing solid damage. But J4 is going to get out just barely alive. But that still gives enough pressure here for CSU to start this Baron and pick it up.
Yeah, right there we just see the discrepancy in backline access. The Katarina has to go so deep and so far with just the item she has to kill the MF, whereas you have the Kassadin running at your backline, you have the Olaf running at your backline, you have the Nautilus there to like put CC up. So yeah, we're just seeing the backline access and the gold discrepancy in that play. Good job on the Katarina to find that pick on the MF, but Katarina isn't the only source of, or sorry, MF isn't the only source of damage on the side of CSU. So regardless if she got picked up or not, they still could do and did do the Baron. So I really would have liked to have seen the Katarina wait to do that around Baron when everyone's magic resist was low.
Yeah, but it looks like there's actually going to be a start here for this Drake. The shutdown comes out for Varus. His first kill of the match, actually. Getting some solid damage. Unfortunately, that Drake's actually going to go over to Olaf, who's going to pick it up with that quick smite. Unfortunately, Cassiopeia does not have a smite. One kill down, going for the Wukong in the backline here. And it looks like Cass is going to be picking up the Cassiopeia. And Drake in the end, and they got 2 kills over for it as well. MF might have gone down again, but once again, they focused hard on that MF when honestly Wukong and Olaf are the scarier threats here on this team.
Yeah, it's just kind of the unfortunate thing about being an AD carry is that.
Yeah. Oh my god, a quick shutdown there from Kassadin. Solid damage with Wukong just lining up for that Nami. We don't have any respawns here. Actually, J4 is respawning now with Cassiopeia respawning in about 5 seconds. Let's see if they're going to be able to hold the base, but with this pressure, with this Baron, 3 Drakes under their belt, 33 kills in their pocket. That might spell about it. 3 members are standing strong right now. And it looks like they don't really want to force anything yet. MF is forcing down the mid lane to get that inhib. Top inhib is getting taken down. MF will be rounding out here shortly, so it looks like they're going to be getting that mid tower as well. But with the rest of the members coming up here in just a couple seconds, it's going to be a bit of a trying time. Solid damage on there, but Cassiopeia is diving in the backline, doing some solid ones, forcing them off that inhib. They got multiple towers, all the towers, for the price of a few. Actually, for the price of nothing. They got all the towers, and they have 1 inhib left to take. They have the Baron, they used it well, and it looks like it's going to be one all-out push here for that base coming out from CSU.
Yeah, like I was saying, just that's the unfortunate thing about being an AD carry is that it doesn't matter if you're the big carry threat or whatever. People will see the AD carry and they will instantly go after you. So, good on them getting these kills in the Misfortune. She's not like 0 and 4 or whatever, so she's still worth quite a bit of gold. But yeah, you blow everything just to get the kill in the Misfortune, and then you have nothing left for this just monster of a top side of Wukong, Olaf, and Kassadin just running at everybody else. And actually, I don't know. It's crazy that this Cassiopeia is so far behind. We just saw her finish her Seraph's Embrace at 25 minutes in the game.
Ooh. Actually, as we're talking here, MF's going to pick up a quick kill here on top of that cat who dived in, burned her ulti on the Olaf, and was able to stay alive, not assaultive, but spell out her death. That last inhib is down. They have nothing else left to do. Baron has just faded, so they don't have empowered minions. But with 4 members up, they might be able to hold this just long enough for any possible engage. But honestly, as I was thinking before here, oh my god, never mind. Wukong popping in the backline, MF taking out Varus, and meanwhile, it looks like J4 is going to try to do some damage on top of Wukong. It's not going to spell much. That's going to be a full man ace there, and that's going to be the base. And it looks like CSU is going to take this first game.
Yeah, dominant game here out of CSU, and just kind of, putting their stamp on this series early, saying, this is who we are, this is what we can do, what are you going to do in this next game?
Definitely, and honestly, as we were talking before, a lot of the early game pickup has to be done by either the Cat, the Varus, or by the Cassiopeia. And honestly, CSU did an amazing job making sure that didn't happen. A lot of the early game vision allowed them to stay safe from any early kills and allowed them to live long enough till late game. Olaf popping up across the map, doing some solid damage on team members here, and allowing for extra kills in those lanes where it was needed for the enemy team. It was really well played by CSU, but I saw a lot of potential actually coming out here from Akron, and I definitely want to see it now. And as you guys are seeing the damage charts, as I keep lapping along here, we're going to be looking at Wukong at the top here with 25,000, with Kassadin coming up short here at 23, and finally the Cassiopeia actually coming out at 20,000 damage. It isn't too surprising. A lot of the poison damage comes out from her. It's a very interesting sight to see, but as I'm not going to be giving any MVPs, I want to give a finals MVP with some quick shout outs to that Olaf for some great plays across the map there. Definitely indeed. Anything you would like to say, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of worrisome that Akron's highest damage dealer was the, I think that she ended 2-8 or 2-9, Cassiopeia. Even with the poison and stuff, you still want to see your other people like come up on that damage chart, and they just really didn't have any damage if you look at the damage charts here. So I'm interested to see what they do in this next game, and I really hope for their sake that they can pull out something pretty spicy and get back in this series.
Yes, and now we're going to start closing on here. For this first match, CSU is going to take that, but we're going to see if Akron is able to bring this back in match 2, so we can possibly get some silver scrapes going for a match 3. Or, if CSU wants to end this match early and get back to studying for finals, they might just take this match 2 for themselves. Anything is possible with these two amazing teams in the Ohio D-League Finals, but we'll see you guys in just a couple minutes here as we get ready for match 2. And welcome back, GGLeagues fans, after that quick little break here as we're getting into the second match of the Ohio B Division Finals. Over on the blue side, we have our last game winner, CSU, taking the first round in this matchup. And over on the red side, we have the Akron Akorns here, picking up here. Diving directly into ban phase right now with Annie Morgana Ezreal for CSU. And Akron, looking at that misfortune, Cassidy, not really want to see it. They're also going to ban the Katarina. But also CSU's picking back up the Olaf. Definitely an interesting pick.
Yeah, I really like the Olaf pick again. Gave them a lot of early pressure to kind of deal with the kind of the strong lanes that Akron actually should have had. So good on them for getting the Olaf back. When we're seeing the Nami again, I'm wondering if they'll pair something else with it, or maybe the different Varus build. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely an exciting one here. We actually have the Nami pickup once again for the side of Akron, and the J4 pickup. They're pretty confident in what they had last time there, and so they want to replay that there. They don't want to see that MF and that Cassidy again, who definitely had a big role to play. Though Wukong also had an amazing role to play up in that top lane. CSU is also going to look like they're going to play off of what happened last time, and it looks like they're going to pick up the Nautilus once again for their support. Ooh, sorry about that. For their support, a solid support pick right there, especially against Nabi, able to just Q, stun her, and she's pretty much dead there. Actually, the Kaisa pick's gonna definitely confirm that. A lot of mobility in the spot lane for CSU.
Yeah, maybe we saw it so many times in the LCS playoffs, so maybe we'll get the salty run back minus the two champions that were, the two CSU champions that were banned out on the side of Akron. Maybe Akron said it wasn't really our picks that were the issue, it was kind of how we played out the early to mid game, and oh, never mind, the salty run back is not happening.
It looks like they really don't want to have that mage top lane again, and so they're going to pick up a Renekton. Quite the opposite on mage there. Renekton Crocodile Dundee is going to be definitely looking pretty strong in the top lane now, and we're going to have to see how CSU tends to handle that. The set ban is definitely going to be a bit of a causality there for the top lane, but it looks like CSU will have a couple seconds here until they figure out what they want to ban next. Most likely targeting that ADC or that mid laner, giving their mid laner a lot of free roam here. We might see something definitely strong coming out there.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what comes out of the CSU top side as they ban the Cassiopeia for some reason, and the Wukong we get banned out as well. But there are kind of two schools of thought when you come to this Renekton. It's, do you pick something that you can fight the Renekton with, which oftentimes is very small champions unless someone is just extremely good on a particular champion, or it's you pick something like the Ornn that can kind of sit back, isn't really going to die too much, isn't really going to have too much kill pressure on him, and just sit back and farm and just be a better champion in that late game. So I'm interested to see what school of thought CSU takes here. But yeah, I think we'll see, hopefully we'll see something interesting.
Definitely, but the Wukong, we're not going to see that again. The Wukong gets banned from the top lane after how well he played last time. Looks like Akron's going to be picking up Tristana even though Lucian was banned. Cassiopeia was also banned here for the match, not really wanting to see or deal with that again. She did allow Akron to last longer than they did during that first match. A couple seconds here to see what we're going to pick up next. It's either going to be that mid laner or it's going to be that top laner. Doesn't really matter in this order anyways. 10 seconds left. I really want to see what they pick against Renekton here. It's definitely going to be interesting. But it looks like they pick up the Corki, an interesting pick here for the mid lane. A lot of extra AD coming out from that team, so we might see something with a bit more magic damage coming out in CSU for possibly that top lane.
Yeah, I really like the Corki. The Corki's kind of an interesting pick. He kind of makes it. Oh, we see the Darius come out as well. So yeah, we're gonna see some hard fighting up in this top lane. But going back to the Corki's kind of an interesting champion because of the way his passive functions. And early game, he's doing significantly more physical damage. But as he gets, you know, those typical AD crit items, he actually switches more into a heavy AP champion. And so it kind of makes it difficult for the enemy team to itemize. Do you itemize the armor? Do you itemize the magic resist? But it looks like we have a Xerath, so we don't even really have to worry about that.
It's definitely going to be an interesting one there in the mid lane. Some strong magic damage going up from Xerath as well. Has some pretty strong global ultis there. Tristana definitely have the ability to take down towers, and so she'll most likely have to be dealt with quickly. But meanwhile, the Darius allows a lot of early pressure coming out from CSU here, even though they do have some pretty late stacking there, especially for Kai'Sa looking mid-game for extra upgrades, and Olaf getting a lot stronger and faster. Might see a lot of plays actually happening in that top lane, but more specifically, I want to see some plays happening down there in the bot lane to slow down that Tristana's role. And overall, interestingly enough, mid lane's just going to be, in my opinion, a very weird matchup there.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that in these later game team fights, we really see some spicy Kai'Sa versus Xerath, you know, kind of outplays. But Kai'Sa can get in on that Xerath if she gets some kind of plasma stack on him, whether that's from her W, whether that's from her CC. And, you know, I'm interested to see, can the Xerath pin down this Kai'Sa with his stun and blow her up before she can do anything? Or is this Kai'Sa going to be able to kill her instinct in a different direction and get away from that and, you know, have these crazy insane outplays just trying to, you know, dodge as many skill shots as she possibly can from the Xerath? So I really hope we get to see some of these cool Xerath Kai'Sa, you know, kind of mind game fights.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting one there. See how strong the Xerath does become. Darius, though, he's definitely a pretty big snowball there. If he gets an early roll going, there's not a lot able to stop him here. They do have a lot of CC to slow down this Darius, though. And they might have enough damage to slow it out, especially with that Nambi with the ulti. And the Q can definitely hold Darius in place unless he can, you know, get behind them somehow and just absolutely tear through them, which is definitely possible for possible Baron fights. Not so much for Dragon fights, unless the Blast Plant is left up, in which, watch out.
Yeah, and this Corki pick kind of brings a different element to the game because he actually does get the package after a certain amount of time. And for some reason, when I see people play Corki, they don't really take advantage of the package that much. They either use it to get back to lane, or they kind of just hold it in lane and then use it as kind of like another Valkyrie for a gank. I rarely ever see Corki players, you know, you base, you buy your item, you get the package, and then you just run through your jungle towards a lane. And most of the time, you can force a flash off that. I don't really see that many aggressive package plays out of these Corgis. So I really hope CSU is just feeling, you know, they're feeling really good after that game one. So I'm hoping this Corki starts roaming around with this package and starts getting some kills, blowing some flashes, getting his lanes ahead.
He definitely has that ability. It's a good pick from that Cassidon. This one after it was banned last time. But honestly, I'm very interested to see how Akron's going to handle this match after their first loss there in the earlier match. They have a strong and interesting team, and they definitely took out a lot of the elements of, hey, we need these people being strong in solo kills. But with about 25 seconds on the board, it's definitely going to be an interesting one there to see how these two teams stack up and who takes the, if Darius can take an early game in the top lane, or if people can last out longer on CSU, or we'll see how Akron handles their fights and see how well it happens. With about 10 seconds left, we're going to go down on the Rift here in just a couple minutes to see how this second match of a best of 3 goes. We'll see you guys down there for the second match.
Hi, I'm Michael. I'm one of the co-founders of GGLeagues, and I hope all of you guys are staying safe and healthy.
Hi guys, I'm Abby. Most of you probably know me as Not Too Shabby in the Discord, and I am your resident league manager for GGLeagues.
And I'm Griffin Kemp. I am a marketing intern here at GGLeagues. I don't work at Cloud9, I'm sorry.
Hey everyone, this is Eric from GGLeagues. With the coronavirus sweeping the globe, I know it's been a stressful time for everybody. Even though we joke as gamers that it hasn't really changed our lives at all. But, you know, with that, we wanted to take some time to update all of you on how the coronavirus has affected our leagues and our company. We also wanted to share a little bit how we're helping to maintain the esports community and camaraderie during this difficult time.
And first off, really, in the interest of everyone's health and safety in the middle of this pandemic, you know, we have unfortunately had to cancel all of our in-person events for this season. You know, this is really not an easy thing for us to do because we really love seeing everyone come to our in-person and final and really get to meet everyone in person. We wanted to bring some of our sweet props so that way everyone can kind of take pictures with that also. And so we really, really thank all of you guys who have worked with us to host these in-person events. And we really appreciate your excitement and hard work. And we really want to thank you guys as players who are planning on coming out to our in-person event. As a result of this pandemic, though, we will be finishing our spring seasons completely online with playoffs and finals running as planned, but unfortunately, it will just be online. We're holding a vote to see what other types of rewards you guys would want as a community. So please go to your Discord and be sure to vote in that.
Yeah, and I know that, you know, GGLeagues has spread pretty far in terms of what states we encompass, but if you didn't know, we're actually based in Chicago. So for us here, we've all been working from home to protect ourselves and to slow the speed that the virus spreads to others, because we know that it's not just about us, it's not just about you guys, it's about our families, it's about everybody in our community, it's about making sure we're protecting each other, right? And so we're all still dedicated to bringing you the same league experience that you've had the entire time, but it's just going to be online mostly.
For sure. And I mean, you know, even amidst all the disruption caused by the whole coronavirus pandemic, you know, our mission to build community and really connect gamers to each other really remains the same. And so, you know, we've seen people in the esports community, some of them being you guys, you players here in GGLeagues, organize hangouts, tournaments, events, and everything to support the community during these tough times and everything. The great thing about esports is its versatility and its ability to connect people no matter how far apart we are. You know, we at GGLeagues want to continue connecting gamers to each other, but for now, only from the comfort of each gamer's houses.
With so many schools already in a remote learning environment, we here at GGLeagues want to make sure that we can continue to support you guys. Building gaming communities has always been what our biggest passion and mission is here at the company. And so we're thinking of ways that we can continue to help your gaming communities stay connected while everyone's away from campus. That's why for the duration of the whole coronavirus pandemic, we're offering to support intramural leagues for Rocket League and League of Legends to all interested schools for free as a way to keep the students engaged and connected with one another as everyone's away from school. The intramural leagues themselves will be competitions that allow students within the school to play in a casual, fun way against one another. The leagues will run roughly 6 weeks and will be completely online. How they'll work is GG Leagues will set up a league on our website, make it easy for your school to invite players into the league, and then from there you'll get access to the same GG Leagues experience that you see in our statewide leagues, where we'll create the leagues, we'll update the standings, we'll create the schedule, and we'll provide referees to make sure everything runs smoothly. All the schools have to do is be responsible for getting word out about this opportunity to your community. So either blasting it in your Discord, sharing it with students that are away from school, and just getting people signed up. We'll have 3 different potential start dates for this, either April 7th, April 13th, or April 20th. And so if this is something that you're interested in, definitely let us know.
So as Eric was saying, if you're interested in, hanging out with me, my referees, some fellow students from your school, even if there's some staff who are interested, send us an email at intramurals@ggleagues.com. Put the subject line as something like, my school's interested in doing an intramural league. And please, in the body of the email, include, what state your school is in, what school, and who might be the best point of contact for those intramural leagues.
And so during these hard times, we are really thankful for a whole entire community we have here at GG Leagues. Not only us here at the workplace, but you guys who have been really a part of this whole thing kind of building up. And so it's really a strong reminder for all of us that why community is the driving force behind not just esports, but everything that we do here at GG Leagues. And so if there's any way that we can help your communities out, please let us know and stay safe and healthy as we endure this pandemic.
Thanks a lot, everyone.
And welcome back, GG Leagues fans, to the second match for the Ohio B Division Finals. Over on the red side, we have the Akron Akorns. On the percent, we have CSU League B team. Anyways, once again, I am Mercenary. Today joining me is Nautical, as we're diving straight into this match for what looks to be a 5-point start.
Uh-oh. The the J4 is pulling the classic noob play. Actually doesn't have any items. So hopefully he can realize that before he actually starts doing these camps. And this might be a problem.
This might be a bit of an issue. Definitely going to be interesting there. No pings or anything coming out in chat yet.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, he's backing up.
Someone pulled the homie play.
Yeah, big old yikes there. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to get a ward off and then grab a sweeper. I mean, there's problems happen. People seem short-sighted on things. That's perfectly fine. It happens.
Yeah, and it looks like CSU here kind of knew. We saw the mastery flash and the laughing emote. So, but hey, at least he didn't do a full camp and then not get level 2 and then realize he didn't have items. So, good on whoever it was that pinged him out. And honestly, it's not that big of a deal in the long run.
Yeah, it actually looks like Garen's gonna be getting that super deep ward up there in the top lane after that whole play, and knowing where he's most likely gonna start. As he goes in the bot lane, gets some extra stuff here, gets the blue buff, and it looks like everyone's starting in the lane. Actually, Darius doing some extra damage, especially with Nectin as well. People are just honestly fighting each other. The ulti proc is there, but no ulti to be found, of course, because we're almost 2 minutes in the game. But that is some solid damage coming off from Darius there. The bleed absolutely chewing through Nectin, who might actually be backing here at just 2 minutes. Dang.
Yeah, like I said, there's 2 schools of thought when you see this Renekton across from you. It's you take it to him and you try to outfight him, or you play a tank. And CSU said, we played a carry last time. We don't really feel like playing a tank again. We'll just beat you in this top lane.
Yep, and it looks like the fight continues here in the bot lane. Quick trades happening on there with Nautilus taking some serious damage. as honestly to be expected down here in this lane. But meanwhile, not topping, Darius is still applying some solid pressure up there, and now just chilling with a solid farm lead as well.
Yeah, I really like the, onus on CSU taking it upon themselves to get these deep wards and really tracking this jungle early, especially with how that early trade went in the top lane. The Darius now has information that the J4 is on the top side, so maybe he can play a little bit more passive, or the Olaf can kind of path up there, expecting that the Jarvan's going to want to put some kind of pressure to get this Renekton back in. We might have an early 2v2 in this top side.
Yeah, might have to really fight here too. Actually, quick pull there from Darius, gonna land 2 stacks of some bleed there. Solid damage as well. But meanwhile, in this top jungle here, it might be a fight for the scuttle. Actually, as Olaf is chasing down this J4. J4's getting some serious damage left and right. No Q proc in sight, but the smite's gotta keep him alive just barely. He's not going to pick it up, but he's gonna get early killed by Darius coming out of nowhere. As Corki tries to pop up and do some extra support here. He's gonna get attacked here by the Xerath. He's looking to do some solid damage in turn. Corki having a little bit of extra range onto this Xerath. He's gonna do some solid damage. Gonna get stunned, but here comes Recto Kakarot, landing a Q and scaring off this Xerath. That was a hell of an early fight, but definitely a good one for CSU. They got the scuttle and they got the first blood.
Yeah, unfortunately for J4 this time, there's no mid laner roaming down to help you fast enough. You cannot fight an Olaf early. You will almost always lose. Lower he gets, more attack speed he gets, and then he just pops that W to get the healing back. And yeah, there's not really much he can do in that 1v1 fight. Luckily though, it did go over to the Darius for CSU to kind of start pushing this lead that the Darius has already accrued. You see it right now, 16 CS up. Probably takes a cheater recall here, won't have to waste the teleport, and yeah, this top lane already looks to be going bad for this Renekton.
Definitely, but meanwhile, when mid lane is staying pretty even and bot lane is staying pretty even as well, we might see some extra plays coming out from this Olaf across the map. Actually, he's down in bot side now, as we have the Infernal Drake coming up here in just a couple seconds. So that means no more Infernal Soul for the map. And actually, we didn't get a Dragon Soul last time. We got close to one, but the match ended too quickly for him. That's going to be interesting for sure. J4 looking around, looking for some extra vision and whatnot, as there is a ref taken. He's not going to be able to find anything there. But some solid damage to the mid lane is showing up pretty well. And everyone's playing reasonably safe. The pressure's being put on for this bot lane, but everyone's backing up and playing well. And actually, Darius hasn't actually left yet. He doesn't have any new items or anything like that. No boost, no nothing. He's been staying up top, pressuring this lane, and actually staying a good 20 farm ahead as well. So that's going to be an interesting one up there.
Yeah, we're not really seeing the type of issue whenever someone takes an early back. Normally, whenever you take a back and buy and come back to lane, you're stronger than your lane opponent because they may have the kill or they may have like the minion lead. They have all that gold just sitting in their inventory, which is effectively useless. But due to the fact that he forced him out so early, it's only a longsword and a refillable pot to the Doran shield right now. So he's actually really not behind this Renekton in terms of items whatsoever. So he's sitting probably on a massive stack of gold. He's 54 CS. He has the kill. And, we might be seeing a fight up in the top lane. They're going after this J4.
J4 taking some serious damage as he was trapped in the back there, actually taking his Krugs. But here comes Xerath looking to possibly clean something up. Olaf's gonna take some Krugs for his trouble. And they're gonna keep all members away right now. But here comes Renekton looking for that solid pressure. Not really getting anything. Xerath is gonna possibly pencil them behind. The ulti's getting popped and the package is getting popped by Corki. Olaf is getting trapped out, taking some solid damage, gonna get shut down by the J4. And meanwhile, they are on the approach, but Darius has his ulti up, propping it on top of J4, accruing some solid damage. Meanwhile, solid damage being launched on top of this Xerath. 3 stacks, 4 stacks, looking for a 5th here. But meanwhile, Renekton's also going to get caught out. Corki's standing nearby, do some solid damage. But it looks like Darius might be able to survive this. Just barely dodged the last one. He's going to make it out alive. A quick 1-for-1 trade and a flash, looking for a kill. Not going to find anything, as that was a quick 1-for-1 trade there for both teams.
Yeah, and it looked really scary there for a second for the side of Akron. You know, they committed super hard to get that Olaf kill, which, yes, it's good to get that kill on that Olaf, get him kind of down early. But they committed so hard that they just kind of forgot about the Darius. And if the Darius would have timed his ulti probably a little bit sooner, he probably could have picked up at least 1 or 2 more kills up in that top lane. So, you know, good on them for having, you know, kind of the tenacity to go for that play, but it could have actually gone so poorly if that would have just gone slightly different for the side of CSU.
Yeah, definitely. Now Corky has a bit of a lead in farm as well, as he was able to back to lane for pretty much free. It wasn't super low. But meanwhile, we have a bit of a vision hunt here in for the Drake. 2 wards are placed on top of the first Infernal Drake. We might see a fight popping up soon. Looks like Xerath might be looking for something. Not really finding much, and he's going to back up, popping a ward into the Pixel Brush there. And Corky's honestly perfectly fine with the fact that Xerath is kind of out of his lane. He's just going to pick up some extra farm for himself, and he's going to try to get some lifesteal off this heavy amount of damage coming up from Xerath there, but nothing really happening. But actually, Olaf might be looking for something. The hook lands on top of the Nami. Death here. The ulti comes out as well, but it looks like the condemn coming out from Tristana is going to save their life from that ulti, and both members gonna make it as well. But here comes Corky launching his ulti, package landing, and he's getting some solid damage. J4 trying to clean up the mess, getting a solid kill for himself, but for the cost of the ulti. Meanwhile, in top lane, a bit of damage occurring up there. No kills yet, but that's a quick trade for trade, and it looks like CSU now has control over the Dragon Pit.
Yeah, because it was the Tristana that goes down, they actually don't really have the firepower to fight this. The Xerath, depending on what he hits, it might work, but honestly, Akron should just kind of give up this dragon to him, but oh, never mind.
But
He got the steal.
Yeah, J4 is going to pick up the steal with actually Kaisa getting caught out as well. Same with Olaf, a really good play there coming out from Akron. Picking up their first Drake for the map and getting it 2 kills in return. Definitely looking pretty strong here for this J4. He's actually rocking 3 and 2. And
Yeah,
solid pressure on mid too.
Yeah, we see the TP coming out of the Renekton. He literally just got it back up. And it looks like we have the Darius coming from behind. Let's see if they can get out of this. Oh,
Solid
wow.
Darius, the ulti coming out for a neck to try to keep him alive. Corky picking up the kill though. Just a quick trade for 1 kill there, getting the pressure off the tower. But meanwhile in the bot lane, Tristana getting almost a tower play there. J4 waiting in the wings, looking for this Darius. Darius though,
Yes, I don't
not
think
exactly
you can fight
one you
this.
not exactly one you want to tangle with. Quick back coming out. He's actually walking back into the brush, and that's gonna spell death. A shutdown for Darius. Something they did not want.
Oh, no. What? Don't face check that again. He already almost killed you with just an auto Q. Do not face check again. At least wait until your E is up. But, you know, unfortunately for Akron, that means that they can just go for this Rift Herald basically for free. And I really want to see this used in the top lane this game. They kind of did some swippity swappity stuff last game to try to get the pressure all over the place. I just want to see this Olaf drop it down top lane and just get this Darius even more ahead than he already is. It's 10-minute Triforce 202 80 CS Darius. What do you do right now?
Absolutely terrifying coming out here from CSU. This Darius is looking monstrous right now, and we actually have a bit of an engage happening in the spot lane. J4 realizing like, oh, well, nothing's really happening top or mid. Maybe I can try bot. But with vision pings happening left and right, it looks like nothing's going to happen there. Yeah, a bit of a trade of damage there in the mid lane. Nothing really happening as well. But meanwhile, Olaf might be looking for an extra kill. He might be looking to drop this mid lane to get that early pressure just across the map nonetheless. J4 is nearby, though, clearing out some vision, and so they're going to wait it out. Meanwhile, in the bot lane here, going to fight for a ward there. It's not going to spell anyone's death. No, everyone's too afraid to commit down in that bot lane. They really don't want anything to happen. But it looks like Olaf actually might be listening to what you said earlier, and he's looking top lane to possibly drop this rift up there.
Yeah, good on CSU here, just kind of splitting the map, taking the entire top half of the jungle. But it looks like we might get a fight up here over this tower. But they should get the tower for this Herald.
Yeah, quick early 12-minute first tower there, but it looks like members of Akron are waiting to catch it up. Olaf getting caught up with the TP as well. Darius caught out all alone and afraid. He's gonna get a kill for his doing some solid damage. Second proc will spell Xerath's death. A quick turnaround there from the TP from the Corki mid. Well, they don't have the Rift Herald anymore. They're going to get some free damage on this tower, possibly spelling out a second tower super early in the match. Darius looking for Renekton. Renekton playing safe, though. He might be trying to dive in and protect it, but it's not going to spell anything. And that's going to be a second tower here at 12 minutes. Absolutely crazy what this top lane is doing here.
Yeah, you really don't want to see that from the side of Akron. This Darius is so far ahead of this Renekton at this point. Yes, your Jarvan does have some kills, but all he has is the Warrior enchant. He's not really putting out the big damage. You really can't fight the Darius in any scenario. So I really just want to see this Jarvan take this lead that he's got and try to get his bot lane ahead. You know, if you get the Tristana a little bit ahead, she can rocket jump away, she can buster shot away the Darius, you know, maybe kite something out in these fights. But trying to get, you never want to be trying to get a Renekton back in the game. You either want him to get that advantage for himself, or just leave him to pick up farm and hope that he can cause some damage in the late game.
Yeah, and something interesting I've been seeing as the match has been going on is just both these bot lanes have been kind of just playing fair. And honestly, while it seems like a bit of a lack of insight coming up from Akron, leaving that strong bot lane alone as they have been meaning to pull ahead here, it's been kind of intentional coming out from CSU, as they don't really need to help a bot lane if they're keeping the enemy team's bot lane alone. But we have a bit of an engage as Darius and that Olaf are looking for some solid damage, and it might spell the death of J4. The Q missing, but landing on the Nami. Olaf is going to be running for it. It's Tristana flashes around, but it's going to die for the trouble. Meanwhile, Darius picking up some solid damage. A double kill coming out for Corki here. He's looking for that Nami, but not going to find it. He's fine with the 2 kills, and he's just going to back up. Oh, but a quick kill there from a Comet coming out on Kaisa.
That's got to be one of, ever since they added that keystone, that has got to be one of the worst ways to die. You just see this little blue ball just go pew and just hit you. But yeah, we saw a glimpse of what this team comp can do there. The Tristana buster shotted away the Darius. They disengaged really well, and the Tristana just kind of got a little antsy and said, I'm flashing, I'm gonna kill this Olaf, and didn't actually end up killing the Olaf at all. Giving this Corki a kill, giving this Olaf another kill. So yeah, I mean, we see what this team comp needs to be doing. Maybe they think they're more ahead than they are, and they're kind of discounting the fact that this Darius only has 3 kills.
Yeah, but Darius is hunting down the Renekton. The ulti is popped here, and the ulti stack is waiting for Darius. He doesn't really want to chase after it because he knows there's other members waiting nearby. J4 looking for something. They're getting the stun. They're getting the solid damage. This might be a kill for Varus here. Here comes Renekton again looking for something. His ulti is down, but the poke might just be enough to take out this Darius here. J4 missing from the side here. Solid damage coming out right. The stun will land as well. But unfortunately, the rest of the members are too late to save the Darius, but they might be alive enough to take this kill. Unstoppable is popped as he chases on top of the Xerath. The ulti from Corki coming out of left field, doing some solid damage there, getting him a double kill and possibly triple kill, but Olaf is going to take that one as 3 members are down for 1. That is well played by CSU, being able to mobilize so quickly up into that top lane.
Yeah, you know, you hate to see unfortunately the Darius finally went down. Honestly, the only thing that CSU could have done better in that aspect is, oh wait, we might have a fight.
Ooh, a well-timed bubble there coming out from Nami, but that doesn't stop the movement speed. The slowest coming out here as Darius is taking solid damage. We'll get the pull on top of Triss. Solid damage is waiting there, but the ulti from Nami will keep her alive. Bomb blast. Everyone's got to back up, and they're looking for that mid tower. Corki looking for a possible trade, and the sad wave, goodbye. Sorry, we couldn't kill you, maybe another time. Corki looking for something down there. Not gonna find it, they're just too quick, but he's definitely landing some solid damage himself. The quick jump there is gonna spell the death Tristana, and unfortunately the bubble came too late for the Nami there. But meanwhile, a fight for Rift has started. Solid damage on top of J4 as Darius, still low health, is looking for that backline. Doing some solid damage himself, he's gonna get shut down by the J4 there. Unfortunately, they still aren't able to contest as well, as we have other members waiting in the wings to do some solid damage. J4 looking for something. Possibly take it. A quick movement there is not going to spell a quick, easy QE coming out from J4, but he's gonna be looking for something. Solid damage there is gonna take it, and a missed opportunity on the E. It's gonna spell another Rift Child going to Olaf, which is most likely going to just immediately drop into this mid lane.
Yeah, Darius, you're super fed, but you know, just the current state of the game now, I don't really think you can afford to take on just 3 members going at it. Maybe once you get Steric's Gauge, you can look to start, you know, 1v5 and stuff. But for right now, you're just giving the enemy team gold, and you know, CSU is doing a good job of getting the Rift Herald, getting some kills back. The Corki just kind of went in on the Tristana bot lane, but you really don't want to be trading even if you're the team ahead. You are almost, what is that, like 6k gold ahead? A little over 6k gold ahead. So you really don't want to be having these even trades. You're just giving them opportunities to get back in the game. But, you know, he kind of inted twice, but it really doesn't matter. He's still so far ahead of his lane opponent, and he's just going to keep doing what he wants in this top lane.
Definitely has a solid farm behind him, and that early trade definitely got him extra damage under his belt. He was still low health, and so I thought his mind was my life for hire, and they definitely got the Rift Herald and the mid tower from that. Once again, we're looking at all outer towers down for CSU for nothing in return over on the side of Akron. They aren't able to get enough pressure anywhere, as when they try to fight for something, they get shut down quickly. Darius looking for something alone here, getting stunned by the ulti there. The ulti getting popped by Renekton. Tristana is chasing nearby, but luckily he has a Kai'Sa nearby to do some extra damage. Everyone else is gathering up here. Darius is trying to start a fight, actually, because he knows that they can win it. But can they win it without a Darius? That's the real question.
Yeah, they have this, they have the Renekton going up to catch this top wave, and maybe they'll actually catch out the jungler before the dragon.
J4 taking some solid damage. He's gonna have to start playing it back here. Corki looking for the hunt right now. Playing some solid damage left to right. He's very close to death, and that rocket nearly hit him. But he's gonna play it safe, and that's gonna be an extra Drake coming out here. The first Drake for the Ocean Soul. Over to the side of CSU. Comes up in about 10 seconds here. We're gonna see there might be a fight for it. But Darius is pushing his luck down in the mid lane, keeping the other members at bay, and definitely beckoning that top laner to come here, come closer. Let me kill you. Quick fight there. He's gonna spout a quick Drake as Darius plays the bait. He knows his role now, and so he's just gonna live it up. Ooh. Ulti just enough there on top of Darius is gonna spell out his death. The slow was not enough. Tried to stay alive.
I think he actually killed himself. If he would not have gone for the honey fruit there, he actually wouldn't have slowed himself, and he probably could have, you know, juked away from that, but you can't really juke that well when you're slowed, man, so he might have actually just killed himself.
Yeah, unfortunately, he was not able to survive that match, but once again, he thought in his mind, my life for hire, as he doesn't have his strong lead from early on, and they did get that Drake, and they did get some extra kills, as they're looking pretty high gold advantage here, looking at a maybe around, I would say, 7k gold right now in the lead. Just about that point. A little bit more actually, that'd be about 8k. I'm bad at math. I don't pass math classes here, but it looks like we might have a bit of a skirmish happening here in for this fight for Baron.
Yeah, I really like seeing CSU here just kind of flood the top side, give vision control down, and just start baiting around this Baron. They can't fight you. We've already seen multiple times this game that the team fights just go in the way of CSU. So force them to have to face check. Force them to face check into your Corki, into your Kai'Sa, into this Nautilus. And just keep playing this pressure game that you have with the Darius bot side.
Unfortunately, that's going to be spelled out for Nami. A quick flash Q coming out from Nautilus here is going to take her out. That's one down as Darius is pushing the rest of the map. All the other members are prepped and ready for this fight. Corki, meanwhile, doing some solid damage to J4. J4 actually getting caught out by the Q there. He's not going to... Corki's going to take the kill. Looking pretty godlike right now. He's going to play some defense while the rest of the members are going to start taking that Baron. They have no pressure, and so they're looking for Darius instead. They want compensation, and so they're going for blood. Kind of a lackluster judgment there, because they aren't going to get it in the end. Darius is going to run away, and they have lost all pressure for that Baron. And that's Baron going over to CSU.
Yeah, good call there by the Darius to say, hey, I know the other 4 of my team members are on the complete opposite side taking Baron. There's no way they're going to TP in from Baron to save me. You know, I'll just go ahead and back. I don't need to get this tower right now. I don't need to bully this Renekton even more than I already have. Let's not give them something, you know, for this Baron. So yeah, good call on him just to kind of pull back and say, you know what, it's not about me right now.
Yeah, they didn't see them on the map anymore around the Baron pit. So like, we have the early pressure now. Let's just let you guys handle that. But as we take a quick look at the map, as everyone's trying to reset right now, Darius is looking 3-3 with a farm lead on his top laner right now. It's currently 18-8 kills, 2 Drakes to 1, 4 towers to none, and we're looking about almost a 10k gold lead right now. And currently on the map, one of the biggest players right now is this Corki, picking up a lot of kills, rocking a 9-1, and some solid damage coming up from him. A lot of AD actually. And meanwhile, this bot lane, both bot lanes are actually looking pretty sour right now. But Kai'Sa doesn't mind. She can add up a little bit of damage here, and she can definitely stack it on top as well. Everyone's backing up, and another big player here is that Olaf. He's been doing some great plays around the map, getting people fed and getting people ready. Extremely well placed in team fights as well, acting as a strong front line, even though they have a Nautilus. Main purpose is frontline and Qs. But as I keep talking here, that's another tower, and it's definitely an interesting match so far.
Yeah, I really like this 1-3-1 here we got from the side of CSU. They can't really engage on the Corki. It's going to take more than one person to take down that Darius. And this mid lane trio is pretty safe. They can disengage pretty well. So they just kind of have to try to force things while this Corki is just up here taking this tower.
Yeah, a quick 1-3-1 strat coming out here as Darius and Corki are split pushing. Meanwhile, Tristana looking really low is unfortunately going to fall. Darius, who got an extra tower for himself just earlier. Corki getting that inhib is going to rotate down to that mid lane looking for that fight as he's diving back in on top of the Nami. Nami's unfortunately going to die before popping the ulti, and Xerath is caught out. The ulti just for the flex, and he's going to get shut down as well. 3-0, another tower down, and it looks like it's going to be another inhib. J4 diving in the backline, actually, it's a bit of an understatement. He's going to try to ulti on top of the Darius, but it's just going to spell his death. He's trying to save the ulti, trying to make sure the timeout longer here, but Olaf is already hitting the base. This might be a quick end here at 24 minutes. It's just Renekton, the 0, 1, and 4 Renekton, looking for some engage. One tower is down. Tristana is back up, looking for some possible defense. And it looks like the rest of the members are pretty happy with what they got, as the rest of the other members are starting to pop up now. They're going to back up here, and it looks like pings for that Drake coming up in 5 seconds will lead to a third Drake, and probably, again, not a soul.
Yeah, just kidding. I said it was probably going to take more than one person to kill the Darius. In fact, it's probably going to take all 5 at this point. Has the Triforce, has the Sterix Gauge, and now on top of that, has the Spirit Visage. This man is not dying to 1 or 2 people. They really need, and no one on the side of Akron has any type of Grievous wounds. Okay, the Xerath actually just picked it up now, but that's not the person you want hitting this Darius, unless it's from very far away.
Yeah, you definitely want to see some more Gersons having Tristana from Renekton, anything to try to chew out that armor. Meanwhile, they haven't really built much armor themselves, especially against this team. Namely, only armor existing is in the form of boots, and actually, we do see some magic. Oh my goodness. My stomach was acting up there. But mainly some magic resist trying to go against this Corki here. Corki trying to chase in the Tristana, might get shut down here. Popping the ulti is going to get quickly chewed out by the J4. That's 1,000 gold in his pocket. He is definitely not too shy to spend that one. But meanwhile, the rest of CSU are looking for this mid tower.
Well, that was a good pick on the side of Akron. You really wish he would have just given it to the Xerath. The ulti charge was coming. There's not a lot that this J4 is actually going to do with that 1,000 gold. Like, yes, he will get some more resistances. He might be building into Maw right now. I'm not really sure what his items are currently. But, you know, that's something. Getting a Needless on this Xerath, getting him towards that.
Yeah. Actually, it looks like he made a good play right now, diving the backline. Virtually to dive with Olaf picking up another kill. Olaf getting shut down by that Renekton, but that tower's going to go down as well. Members got the back up here. It was a quick 1-for-2 trade, but they got what they wanted. They got the tower, so they're going to back up. Again, that play by J4, while he got the kill, he can't really do
no.
money.
Right,
oh wait, no, Minions are actually No kills coming to that, but the shutdown by the minion is honestly disrespectful. It's real sad. So we got an extra kill on minions. We gotta remember
They're TP
that.
at the base. They're TP at the base. They're like, all right,
Yeah.
the minions did it for us. We might be able to get this win now.
Yeah, Darius popping into the base with a TP as the extra imp is shut down. Rest of the members are up right now though. J4 looking for something. Tower's down as Darius is diving into the rest of the team here. AC's going to pick up another one. It looks like that kill is going to be going over to the Nautilus here, but that's it. That's all they needed. They needed the extra save here, and the minions are going to actually win it here for the side of CSU.
Oh no. Oh no. That's
Never in my life would I ever have to say GG to that one super minion. Wow.
Oh no, that was so. You really, that was so sad to see on the side of Akron.
Oh, you really hate to see it right now, and oh man, I'm gonna have to think about that one for a minute. But it was honestly well played by CSU for the entirety of the match. There, they were able to chew through, and with some honestly poor decisions coming out from Akron, especially with the J4 taking most of the kills, they weren't able to get the rest of the members fed enough to continue throughout the map. But as you guys are now seeing the damage charts, as I am seeing them as well, we're actually looking at Xerath with the most damage here, most likely from his ulti here at 25,000, with the Darius and the Corki coming up close with 22,000 for Darius and 19,000 for Corki. Honestly, extremely well played by both teams, but amazingly well done by CSU as well. They played really well, and the Olaf definitely helped in that. Mid lane and top lane honestly had some pretty good synergy nonetheless, and that bot lane was able to just leave to their own devices, and while they didn't get much in the match, they were just there for pressure. They kept Tristana from getting big, and that Nami from getting big as well. They did their jobs well.
Yeah, CSU just played it really well. Akron had some really great plays to come back in the game, you know, catching out the Darius multiple times, catching out the Corki, and really capitalizing when CSU was getting a little too big of a hubris for their own gold lead. But yeah, if I had to give an MVP to this game, it would definitely have to be the super minion that killed the Xerath. As soon as Xerath went down, you saw CSU pinging. They went for the TPs, and they knew they did not have the wave clear to take it down. But oh man, yeah. So GG to the super minion.
I will give an honorable mention to that super minion. GG to him to take out and actually help them win that match. But honestly, if my MVP is going to anyone, it'll be going to this Olaf.
Yeah.
I can actually say that because he's been playing both times. He made plays across the map. He made sure that certain advances cannot be made on different players, and he can get other people fed where he's needed to. He shut down a lot of people, and he definitely helped this match succeed and a lot of the champions to go forward for this.
Yeah, and all jokes aside, in all honesty, it really is the Olaf who is getting my MVP too. He died early in the first game, and it didn't tilt him, and kept going for plays, kept, putting pressure on the map, was always where he needed to be at the right time, and yeah, just GG's to him. He really played like out of this world these 2 games. So yeah, mine definitely goes to the Olaf.
And as we're closing out here, this is going to be the last time you see the two of us, especially on here, for a hot minute, as we are closing on our season, actually starting tomorrow, while the second match will be happening on another channel. Some quick changes will be happening. We're actually having a match right now. Oh, not right now. Actually, tomorrow. Same time, same place. On the 30th, it's going to be a match with Zeko and Dave for the final match of the year. And that is going to be an interesting match played up there as well. It's going to be between for that finals. If I can find the finals match, oh my goodness. Honestly, I don't know who's going to be playing that match. It's a real shame that I am bad at my job, but I am indeed. But anyways, you're going to have one last match from us for our finals for the spring season right now. And that's going to be with Zeko and Dave at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Or if you're where I am right now, it's going to be 7 p.m. Anyways, as we are closing out here, once again, if you want to join any of the matches, cutting out there. If you want to join up for any of the matches here on GG Leagues, make sure you go to GGLeagues.com. See if you have a tournament in your area, a team in your area. If you don't, message us. We'll see if we can set one up for you guys. And definitely, we want to see you guys pop up here for next year, so I can scream out your name when you get the next official pentakill. And if you want to figure out what's happening next with our teams, what we're casting, what's going on, make sure you check us out on social media at GGLeagues for any of our links down below. And once again, that was an amazing match between myself, Mercenary, and Nautical here. Great seeing and talking with you about it, and it was an amazing time having you guys as our audience for, personally, my final match for a hot minute. And once again, that's going to be a quick GG to CSU League Team B for taking that final match and being your Ohio B Division champions. You guys take care.